Find yourself a comfortable position and just notice the way you're sitting. Lengthen your spine. Lift your sternum up. Hold your abdominals in so that the muscles around your core support the spine and lengthen the spine. Roll the shoulders down and back and lengthen the head. Soften the face. And today we're going to focus on simply observing the thoughts in our life. In order to do so, there are steps. The first step is to notice, identify the thought. Notice, identify the thought. The second step is to observe the thought with a level of detachment. You may not achieve this in the beginning, that's okay. First, identify. Second, observe as the witness, as the detached witness. Third, let go. And then the cycle starts again. Identify. Observe with detachment. Let go. Start again. When we repeat this cycle, it's a skill that is restarted each time you do it. So we never arrive, we never learn, tick, how to do this. It's a matter of the practice occurring on the day, the time that it occurs. And that is all. So, placing your palms either upwards, open to the universe, or in heart space in prayer. Breathing slowly. Notice your breath and notice your body. So we're going to go through the cycle. If a thought comes into your mind, identify the thought. Name it. Detach from it. Let it go and start again. Now perhaps the thought is, I'm hopeless, I'm no good at relationships, I can't study. I don't wish to place a thought in your mind, I'm just giving suggestions here. So notice the thought. No person can be hopeless. No person can be useless. No person is no good at relationships. So the thought is intrinsically wrong, it's flawed. Notice the thought, identify it, look down upon it. It's a thought. It's a thought which is thought by our minds, our consciousness, our souls, our brains. We can rethink that thought. We can rethink it. I could have done things differently. I will learn from my behaviour. I choose to accept the situation as it is. I choose to feel compassion for those around me. I choose to feel compassion for myself. Notice the character of flawed thoughts. They're extreme. They're generic. They do not describe a particular behaviour. They describe a person rather than the behaviour. So a person cannot be hopeless. A behaviour may be flawed, but a person cannot be hopeless. Continue in this way. Identify the thought. Observe the thought with detachment. Let go the thought and start again. Over time, learn to dissect, identify flawed thinking and move through that process. It may help to have a metaphor such as you can imagine a stream, and you can imagine that your flawed thoughts or your negative thoughts, negative thinking, less than constructive thinking, are like dead leaves. And you take the dead leaves and you put them in the stream. And then you watch the stream wash them away. And then you take another flawed thought, place it in the stream, and you watch it flow away. And this sequence is repeated. As you do this, it's important to allow your mind to see the metaphor, because our mind cognitively seeing the metaphor will help you to let go. So you identify the flawed thought, the negative self-talk, the negative internal dialogue. You identify it, name it. Then from there, you detach yourself from it. I have chosen this thought. This thought is not who I am. I will not own this thought. I accept that I've had this thought, and I accept that I'll place the dry leaf in the stream and watch the dry leaf float away, and then start the process again. When you do so, take your time imagining, visualizing the dry leaf. What does the dry leaf feel like? What is the name of the dry leaf? So the dry leaf could be called I don't like myself, or I'm no good at study. Give the dry leaf a name. Notice the texture of the dry leaf. Then really consciously imagine, visualize yourself putting the dry leaf in the stream. Feel the dirt beneath your feet. Imagine the sounds of the stream, the water. Look at the banks of the stream. Create the stream, make it real. Then watch the dead leaf float away. As the dead leaf floats away, notice the connection between the dead leaf being your thought. You look down upon the thought floats away. Our minds are very powerful, so we can retrain our mind. You are not the thought. The thought is not you. The thought may be related to a behaviour that you once had. The behaviour does not have to be repeated. You do not have to become your thoughts. It's a choice that you have. Watch the thought float away. When our mind visualizes an image, we can become that image. Our mind is so powerful, visualizations are so powerful that we can become that image. Now, silently, we're going to identify the thought, detach from the thought, visualize the thought in our stream, which is our consciousness, and watch the thought float away. Identify, detach, visualize, let go, and start again. Identify the thought, detach. The thought is not who we are. Visualize the thought in the stream. The stream is your consciousness. Allow it to let go. Once again, identify the thought, detach from the thought. It's not who we are. Acknowledge the flawed nature of that thought. Place it in the stream and allow it to float away. This is a technique that you can repeat daily. Repeat it daily and consider its nature. We are not our thoughts. We can choose to become our thoughts, or we can choose to see our thoughts as external. We have the power to change our thinking. We do not have to be our thinking. We can control our thinking. In order to do so, we need to be gentle, softly approach rather than a I'm no good at this approach. This is too hard. This is a skill. It requires practice and practice and practice and practice. And every day has a new environment of challenges and physical factors, lack of sleep, illness, commitments. Every day is fresh. Every day, repeat. Identify, detach, let go, watch the thought float away, start again. Do so without feeling harsh or self-critical in a way that's negative. We can be self-critical if it's a positive experience. Now I'd like you to sit for a further 5 minutes, feeling a sense of gentleness, gentle for ourselves and gentle for the world, non-reactive, non-judgmental, detached. Everything as it is okay. We are going to be okay as it is. We are going to be okay as it is. Breathe slowly. Silence. When you are ready, open your eyes, roll your shoulders back, lengthen the spine, reaching up, stretch through your fingers, coming into prayer, and forgive yourself for your flawed thinking. Forgive your flawed thinking. Let's start again today. Remember, you can go back to this practice anytime you wish. Identify, detach, let go, repeat. Now, let's finish with 3 long, relaxed, compassionate breaths. Let go. Let go. Let go. You can do this day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute. Be gentle in your heart. Be gentle in your behavior. Identify, detach, let go. Identify, detach, let go. Identify, detach, let